Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Rural Canada A. I want to kick things off with a super excited announcement. On September 27th at 9 a.m. PST, I will be premiering Part 2 of City Skylines 2 Early Access. Super heckin' excited, so we'll continue the project that we started in the first video. But, yeah, carry it on, explore some new things. So I've got a thread going in the community tab, and there you can share things you'd like me to go over or things you would like to see in the Cities 2 video. We do, unfortunately, only get 30 minutes, so it's going to be tough to showcase everything, but I want to hear from all of you. So share, yeah, the things that you want to see. That's over in the community tab there as well. But speaking of the community tab, we also will have a poll running when you see this video, and that is for the City Skylines Netherlands episode. So if you don't care for that series, don't worry about it. But for the people who watch and like that series as well, there's a poll going for the empty space area that I showcased, and I have 3 options in there right now of things that we could do there from you, the viewers. You all commented on the video. I picked 3 of them. They're there in the community tab. So a bunch of stuff going on in the community tab. Go check it out. It's really cool. But yeah, in today's episode, I'm going to come in and adjust these parking spaces. Now, I got to be clear about something here. I should have been more clear in my video because it got a lot of comments on this. So where I'm from, in the movie theaters, or the drive-in theaters, sorry, that I've been to, a lot of vehicles are usually, like, there's cars too, sure, but a lot of it is SUV and trucks. And so we will reverse in to a parking spot, so we'd be facing out the opposite way because you open up the hatch or sit in the bed of the truck. And so you put chairs in the bed of the truck or sit in, you know, the hatch of the SUV, right? And so with that, it was normal for me to have them reverse. The only thing is I can't control, it's a parking space, right? That's how we make this all functional. And I can't control who sits there. Or like what vehicle, you know what I mean? Like I can't control if it's a truck or SUV. And so I got lots of people that were wondering about why they were facing that way. And I should have been more clear. So my apologies for not being as clear with it. But we sorted it because I might be used to backing into a drive-in theater spot if you have an SUV or truck or whatever. But it actually looks better if they face, you know, like forward towards the screen. So I really, really am so thankful for all the feedback on that. These series, man, and I know many other YouTubers as well, we thrive off of all of your feedback. It helps us improve. It helps us make better videos. It's so, so valuable. So I do really, really, really appreciate that. You see me placing a Patagonia there, and they might be too big for Rural Canada A, but I'm kind of, I don't know, man. I think it's seemed like a company that would definitely exist in, and it doesn't exist in Kamloops, sure, but you know, a city like Kelowna could probably handle it. But yeah, this is going to be the center focus of today's episode. We're going to get another block of downtown. You know, we had fun build last time. Now we're back to the nitty-gritty downtown. So that's always a lot of fun. And filling it out, but we're making good progress on the downtown. I wanted to get, you know, maybe 2 or 3 blocks done, but, you know, we only got 1 block done. As is, you know, if you've seen any of the other videos, you know that that's kind of the norm for how it usually goes. But we do add actually a kind of cool, I won't spoil it, it's coming up in the episode at the end, but we do add some spices to this build that we're curating here. And it's actually really fun. I'm really stoked with some of the stuff that we added. And again, zooming out, like we are making decent progress on this build now, and it's starting to really come together. That drive-in too from that last episode, like it's just really cool to have something like that where people from the city are going to go there, right? It completely functions. It draws in tourists as well. So like it's this interactive part of the city, and I love stuff like that. Just thinking that like citizens from our city are going to go interact with that theater. So yeah, I think it's really cool. And then you would have seen as well too. I should have commented about this when we were over there, but back when we were, you know, in the start of the video, if you go back and watch it, we swapped out one of the movies for a much better movie. It is Cat Jam YouTube repeat, like 10-hour loop. Cat Jam 10-hour loop. That's a better way to say it. Courtesy of one Teddy Radko. So that's super hype, and I should have thought about doing that in the episode, but I completely forgot. So we got that swapped out for Teddy Radko's Cat Jam asset on the workshop. Got to come in here and try to figure out the buildings that are going to make up this downtown block here. And I don't want to go too crazy big, but like probably this one here. What's that, 4 stories? That's probably the 4 stories. That's probably the tallest that I'd go. Yeah, no, to try and get it to not be too crazy tall, but you know, there's a certain look, right? There's a certain something that I'm going for with these main streets. And the thing is, we're gonna get to a point where I'm gonna use a lot of the assets, so it's getting to you know, start exploring the workshop, adding more things to it, right? So we're gonna come in here and do what you have seen, you know, countless times on the channel before, and that is a good old alleyway, and we're gonna use ploppable asphalt to give it the asphalt texture. And just make it look a little bit more like an alley, because alleys don't really have, like, I've seen some people that use like roads for alleyways, but it's not really like, I don't know, the alleyways here, even in Vancouver, but like definitely in the Okanagan, they're not like, everything's kind of paved. There's not like, you have a middle way, but it's not like a road with like curbs and sidewalks, right? It's like the whole thing is kind of accessible. Like, you can drive to all of it. And I gotta get more dumpster stuff as well too. I realized that I don't have enough dumpsters. I think I only had like 2, and I couldn't even find one in vanilla. But yeah, I need more. I need to sub to more dumpster stuff. Yeah, I have like 13,000 assets, right? 13,000 assets. I guess this question as well too. So I have 13,000 assets. Game takes about 4 minutes to load. But I don't have a good dumpster. I have 2 good ones, but I don't have more variety, and they're all open one. None of them are closed. And you know, if you think about it, like, they really would all be closed if they're in the back alleyway, but you know, here we are. So we're gonna come in with Rick 4000s. That's it, right? Rick 4,000, 5,000. We're gonna come in with Rick's fence asset there, the guard post pipe thing. It just looks awesome, man. That adds such a cool atmosphere to it. I really, really like it. And then we're gonna come in with Mike's overgrown grass network here. Yeah, I know. I'm actually surprised. I haven't gotten any comments on it about being like, are you not concerned about the node limit? I'm not. Like, to be blunt, I'm not. But yeah, I don't get any comments about like, because it is a waste of nodes for sure. I'll admit it. But it looks cool, and it's like super quick to just get the job done, and adds a really nice flavor to it. So I don't, you know, it to me doesn't, I'm not going to hit the node limit, I guess is the better way to say it. We're going to come in here and do our custom sidewalks as well too, and so that's just using the vanilla media network. It's called vanilla, but it is a workshop asset, or workshop network. Yeah, which, crazy how cool that idea is. And it came from like, and we talked about this before, it came from Creative Decks, right? But kind of crazy to think about. It's just like a vanilla network, and it's, to me, I consider it a game changer. It's kind of, yeah, kind of wild. I'm going to come in here with some ploppable grass, because I figure like that little gap between the sidewalk and where the asphalt is would probably be like, I don't know, to me it seem to make sense if it was like grass poking through, and some, if it was grass. And so I tried to line it up here. But again, the heights are so finicky. Realistically, if I was to do this project again, I would raise the elevation I did of the custom sidewalks to just like, it's only like maybe 0.2 more, and I wouldn't have all these issues with like trying to push stuff underneath other stuff, and like the heights, right? I wouldn't have the issues with the heights. But hindsight's, you know, 2020, as they say, and we live and we learn, right? And you know, it's I'm not gonna start over the city, right, just for that. So we're going to come in there and just sort out the node there. So we're going to remove the markings. And then another goal is to come in with TMPE and just prevent citizens from crossing and control the traffic. I don't like allowing traffic through the alley. I have even tried doing less speed. Like, I think what's the lowest? 30 or 20 or something like that is the lowest you can go in TMPE. And I've gone the lowest, but people still, so the AI will prioritize roads that get them to their destinations faster, right? And so an alleyway gets them faster because it bypasses lights, it bypasses a lot of stuff, right? In real life, an alleyway is not the fast cut through most of the time, almost all the time. I can't think of any moment where it was like faster. Just because there's a lot of stuff going on there. You often have like delivery trucks, and it's just, they're busy spots. They're not, you know, it's not a cut through, and they're like super tight as well too. And if you encounter another car, like, it's hard to get around the car. This is just not a fast cut through, but of course the AI does think it is. So we're gonna come in here with parking spots. Now, I found a fatal flaw to an idea I introduced in, I believe it was Crafting Realistic Parking, one of the episodes, let's say like 5 episodes ago, because it was a while ago. A fundamental flaw with this idea is that it's a decal, right? It's really cool. So this is a worn decal asset from, decal from the workshop, from Cluse, and I put that down, and then I sync down the functioning one so that all you see is the worn and it looks nice, but they still function, right? Because it's just a decal, meaning that vehicles can't park there or use it. So the issue with it is that it's a decal. How do I decorate alleyways? I decorate alleys with a ton of decals. So many decals, because you want to get that like worn, grimy, dirty look, right? And I use decals for that. And so when two decals, and this might be like a learning moment for people that don't know, when two decals are put on top of each other, they do something called Z fighting. And Z fighting just means that the decals are fighting to be on top, fighting to be the decal that's shown, that you see. And when that happens, they often flicker and sort of, like, I guess flicker or flash is the best way to describe it. It looks horrible and I hate it. It would be the blunt way to it, side to side. Man, unfortunately, we will do that decal trick in areas where I don't need to put down other multiple decals. But for the alleyways, unfortunately, we're going to have to stick with the regular built-in version. It's not bad. It just doesn't have that worn look. Like parking, especially in an alleyway, it just, there's a look to it. And sometimes they don't even have lines, but I like the lines. It kind of shows it, and I don't know. To me, it looks good, like in this game. But yeah, there's a certain look to it, you know? So now we're going to come in here, and we're going to put down the trees, get the street trees continuing on there. And that's a plane tree as well, too. The plane tree's got to be my favorite street tree. It is such a gorgeous asset. And that ponderosa near the parking that we saw there, oh, so good. I think I talked about how I shouldn't be doing... Well, we're going to do the props first, the trees first, but I think there is a part where one of the most recent episodes, like one of the more recent episodes, I talked about not doing worn, damaged decals to the roads and like the patched, cracked decals to the roads all over, right? Just because it's going to, affect performance and whatnot. Yeah, that's just not going to happen. I do it all over because it looks really cool. And like, speaking of it, here it is. I go all over with this stuff because look at that. Like that, oh man, the patched ones instantly makes it look so realistic. Like so damn realistic. I love it. I can't not do it. It's so good. Like, look at that compared to what the road was before. That welcome to rural Canada A. Like it's and other cities as well too, but like that's rural Canada, baby. Especially, like the Okanagan. The roads are a bit of a mess, there's a lot of forgotten roads. But yeah, I think it adds too much to not do it all over. It's horrible for performance. Decals really, really tank FPS. But if it looks good, everything's going to wreck your FPS at some point, right? So why not have a nice, good-looking 1 FPS city, right? So I had to come in with the medians around to our custom vanilla sidewalks there and just get that added so it's touched up and all of them have it. And then it's at this point where I think, okay, we could probably get onto the second block, right? It's not too far into the episode. I can likely pull this off and get it working. But it's also at this point that I decide, like, I don't know if there's actually going to be enough time, right? So I get the trees in here, start thinking to myself, like, I don't know that there's going to be enough time for all of it. So we're going to add some planters, and I come up with a cooler idea instead for something that we can add just to, give some light to the episode, because I don't want it to just be one downtown block. Like, I want to have something that's a little, interesting or something unique. And I'm really happy with what we end up coming with. But no spoilers, it's coming up, though. It's really cool, and it looks great in the cinematics. But first, we got to add some housing, because we're going to start that transition between downtown to now homes. And the Midwest Homes by Smileys work so heckin' well for this. We did this on the YMCA episode, and they look phenomenal here right across the street from where downtown is. And it just kind of like, I don't know, something about these homes, maybe it's the size of them, like they're decent enough where it makes sense, like where they are. It feels realistic to me. It makes sense that these homes would be here, but it also creates a transition that's not jarring. And some cities, in real life do have jarring transitions, but I often find that sometimes those jarring transitions don't translate the way that they do in real life. They often are jarring, right? And they look a bit off in city skylines. And so really getting that height between, middle density to high-rise density to, in single-family homes and getting that right sort of angle. Yeah, I don't know. These homes worked really well for it. And then we end up swapping out this light because it didn't make sense that this would be a traffic light. Being that close to the rail as well, too, it would definitely be stop signs. A classic little 4-way stop. And then I'm going to come in here and I realize because of the bus stop that I can't do my custom sidewalks there. They're just going to look too... It's just not... No. It's not going to look that good. So I decide against that and to just leave that side. That side with the homes just won't get it, and we'll keep it with the downtown. But this is the point where I'm like, man, I don't think we're gonna have enough time to do another block in downtown. I mean, we would, but I'm not ready to do these crazy long episodes yet. So instead, I start a realistic looking park, and it gets even more realistic in the live play. So make sure you stick around for that. And the ending cinematics look phenomenal, but in the live play, it becomes much more realistic, which is really, really cool. But yeah, we're gonna create a little park here by the rail. But first steps first. Oh no, I do the trees first. Okay, I thought I would have swapped those barriers on the road, the rail barriers, because they're not that good. Oh, and we're gonna delete a road because why not? Yeah, love when that happens. Drag it out, adjust it. There you go. I should just use move it when I'm, because if you delete something to move it, I know that there's a Control Z mod, but I'm not sub to it. I know. But, you know, hey, it is what it is. So I get some of the trees from our brush there, but we're going to come in and add some ponderosas that would absolutely be all over this place, this park area. And the ponderosas by Gray Flame are just phenomenal. They look so heckin' good. Oh, I love it. Love it so much. They add this, like, I don't know, to me it just instantly feels like home, because ponderosas are just such a common tree in the Okanagan. And then we come in with this awesome asset. I have never used that prop before, that little, like, I don't know what you call it, like bandshell thing or whatever. No, not bandshell. Pavilion maybe. And then I put some benches in there as well too, and it just ends up looking so cool. This pavilion added so much light to this. I love it. This park is awesome. Fills the space perfectly. Totally looks like something you'd see in the Okanagan. Yeah, and then we still, put down some more picnic benches. People could come here, have a bite to eat. It's by the rail too, which is just really, really cool. I don't know that the rail would have a fence around it. Let me know, and I'm sure you guys will. If you see something that you're like, nah, that's not right, Moose, y'all are pretty good to comment that down below. But yeah, let me know if there would be anything around that rail. But I'm just used to rail being completely unprotected in the Okanagan. Kamloops, where I grew up. Most of it, and it might vary because we're closer to the downtown, right? But a lot of it, the second that you get out of downtown, it's just not protected, yeah. But there it is. We swapped the barriers for Canadian ones, which is really cool. And then I adjust the lines there to make it look a little bit nicer on that angle. Then we're going to bring this road down because it's a little bit too steep of a hill. I still want that hill area around it because I think it looks cool with the rail and like the little valley there. But yeah, that park, man, isn't that cool? It looks so good. I am really, really excited with how it turned out. Because I had to struggle with this episode trying to figure out like where I want to go from here, because I really love the drive in idea. So yeah, comment stuff, man, that you ever want to see. If you're ever like, oh, you should do this. The drive-in theater was just a suggested idea, and it ended up being like, I'm so stoked on that episode. One of my favorite builds, honestly. So I'm gonna come in here, and this is a cool procedural objects trick that you're about to see. I am so excited to share this with all of you. So what I'm doing is there's an option in procedural objects to convert something that's converted to PO to only show up on the daytime or the nighttime. And so what we do here, this scene that we're crafting is, so there's this new asset. It is here we go, window washer guy, like washing the window. But I figured, you know what, we could make this work. It's somebody doing graffiti. So what I'm doing is I'm going to make them only appear at night, and the finished product appears during the day. And I love little things like this. They're like unique, crazy, ridiculously detailed. And I figured what better thing to put than everybody's favorite mascot, because everybody loves Chirpy, right? So we got the, there's the Chirpy mural. And we're going to line that up there with the person who's window washing, but we're pretending that they're painting. They're doing graffiti. It's fine. They're not a window washer. I'm going to make them appear at nighttime only, but the mural is daytime only. And so that's the key, right? So when the person's painting, the mural's not done yet. The mural's done only in the daytime. And so now we're going to come into play it, and we're going to let the speed go just so I can show you guys kind of what it looks like. But here it goes. So as the time starts to go... hit play, Moose. There you go. So as the time starts to go, you're going to see it transition. So there it is from daytime, the finished product. And then as the city transitions into nighttime here, what in God's name are these trucks doing? well, ignore the trucks. There it is, right? So nighttime's kicked in. Boom, there's the person painting it under the cover of darkness. Isn't that so cool? What a crazy cool feature, hey? I love it. So that thing just like exists. So, yeah, if you see nighttime cinematics around this area, look for the person painted it. It's definitely something I'm going to include because it's like a little Easter egg. If you checked out this episode, you know about it. If you made it this far, you know about it. And so I think that would be a really cool Easter egg to feature in cinematics going forward. So yeah, definitely expect more of that. I love little things like that. And we are definitely going to do more of that. Going to come in here and add a barrier, but I think it's also time for me to leave all of you and hop into live play and discuss there further. So I'll see you all in the live play. Welcome back, everybody, to the live play portion of the episode. And I figured what better spot to kick it all off than the beautiful, beautiful new theater screen here and the swapped assets. Now, I had some people kind of related and being like, yeah, you know what? Some of ours do the vehicles. I did a poor job at explaining it, so my apologies to everybody because I got a ton of comments saying that the vehicles were the wrong way. I talked about it in the time-lapse, but just to go over, we're in the live play here. What'll typically happen is lots of trucks and SUVs. Not as many cars. The one that I used for inspiration for this episode, last episode, maybe a little bit more cars. Somewhere in like the Okanagan, definitely more, trucks and SUVs. And so what you do is, assuming that you don't have this, obviously. So maybe, but those are such good Okanagan vehicles. Like, oh my God, you see those all the time. But is there a truck with a bed? Yeah, here we go. Something like this. So you'd reverse in and put like chairs in the bed of the truck there, and then you get like a cool view. And then SUV, you open up the hatch. Maybe the kids sit there, the parents sit with their chairs out, taking a look at things. So that's kind of how we would do it. And cars would obviously you face in front, and that's kind of how you do it as well too. So it's not. But yeah, that man, I didn't expect that to be like the. I got so many comments about it, about the way they face. And I will be honest too, here's the thing. Sometimes doing real life in this game just doesn't look as good. There's something to it. Like, it's not the first time that I've noticed it. And honestly, looking at it like this, I think this does look better to me. Even though it may not be what I'm accustomed to, it just looks better. And sometimes that's a smarter way to go about it. But again, man, thanks so much for the feedback too. Like, these things don't happen. This project, like, I want to share it with all of you and share some cool stuff that I'm building and grow a community over here. But it's just as much, your build as it is mine. And feedback is what, makes these series thrive. And I appreciate it so heckin' much. But yeah, let's go to the downtown and let's go take a look at the block over here that we were working on. I also want to say, like, I was hoping to get more done, but I reached a point of like, if I'm hoping to get more done in an episode, like I was hoping to get this block done, which will be like more of a city hall type building, get like 2 blocks done so that we can really progress the downtown, right? But if it feels like I'm going to have to rush to get it done, I'm just not going to do it. And that might result in a shorter episode, but I feel like it's going to be better quality for all of you if I'm not like rushing, trying to get it in and whatnot. Like, it's just going to be a better project. And so I realized that I probably wouldn't have enough time for this. And then the idea of a park here came up. And you know what I'm going to do with you all right now in the live play? I think I'm going to come in here, actually. I'm just going to do this right now because I think this will honestly look better. And I kind of wished I did this in the time lapse. I've also already recorded the cinematics. So everything that I'm about to do now, you're not going to see in the cinematics. But if you're here right now watching the video, which if you're watching now, you're going to see the cinematics. I think that if we convert this to an invisible path, this is going to look even cooler and more realistic. Yeah, look at that. Because people would like follow this way, but you don't see like perfect paths like that. Trails, sure, hiking, yeah. But like a space like this by the rail, nah, not really. And you know what? I feel like this one's a little bit too close to the tracks there, if you have kids and whatnot. Not that this is going to be like really busy, but yeah, no, I like that better. But yeah, that looks way better. So there's the park that we did. Love this little pavilion with like, yeah, I guess like a fireplace, eh? I love this pavilion, man. I think this is so cool. Another set of the beautiful Midwest homes that just work so well for the Okanagan. And then this one, it talks about it in the video, but sure, is Patagonia maybe a little bit unrealistic that some, company that big? I mean, Kamloops has Lululemon and Kelowna's popping off as well too, but yeah, maybe. You know what? No, I think that this is a perfect spot for Patagonia, actually. It probably is too big, like, let's be real, but you know what? Like, that's just, I don't know, that seems like a perfect spot for it, and I don't know, Patagonia seems like something that would absolutely thrive in small towns. But yeah, no, I'm super stoked with this block. Again, I wish I got more done, but like it honestly, it is what it is. Like, I'm really happy with the progress that we're making, and I'm really happy with the overall image too, because we can come in and just have these nice detailed areas. And I'm starting to find that sort of balance as well that works between like over detailing and detail versus scale. I definitely was over detailing when we started this series, and I've started to sort of fine tune it. And take influences from the Netherlands one, where it's less like I don't know, like detail of what matters, I guess is a better way to say it. Detail the things that are important. Also, fun fact, Jack updated his box truck and it vanished from my save. So I got to add that box truck back. The reason why I'm pointing this out is that I know that Jack watches the episodes. So Jack, don't worry. I didn't delete your truck. No, it disappeared when you updated the asset. And so I got to add it back with Cuboid's, graffiti on it. But yeah, this is what we built. Super stoked on this vibe, this area. The Ponderosa trees add so much life to it. Like that right there. Welcome to the Okanagan, eh? Like, oh my god, I love that so heckin' much. I think it looks super good. Couple things I want to go over, though, as we wrap up the episode here, though. City Skylines 2 video comes out on September 27th. Check that out. It's going to be heckin' awesome. We're going to expand it, and I do have a thread going where you can share your thoughts, what you would like to see in it. I am limited to 30 minutes, so I'm going to try and include as much as I can. But yeah, I got a thread going in the community tab. Likewise, in the community tab right now, the second that this video is up, there's a poll for the Netherlands episode on 3 options that I've selected that, that will fill an empty space. If you've seen the episode, you'll know, but there's an empty space that I want to fill. And so there's 3 options there in the community tab. And then lastly here as well, too, I just want to say a huge welcome. We've had insane growth over the past little while here. Obviously, the City Skylines 2 video helps a lot, but other videos have gained subs as well, too. And I want to welcome in all the new people. All the links for my content are down below. But thank you so much for subscribing and enjoying the content, man, and checking out the videos. It means the absolute heckin' world to me. As always, a huge thank you to the people that support me on Patreon and Coffee. Disney Dude 1, Shane Turner, Fish Bob, Hey Guy Buddy, Bragard, William Epps, the Yed _ Anthropophagic, the Jonah, Trevor Sabo, and Poplar Ponderosa. Thank you so much for the support. I'm a Canadian Moose, and I will catch you in the next episode. Happy building, eh?